Okay, take a quick look at your calendar. It's kind of crazy to think about, but we've got roughly 6 months left before 2027. Now, I know that ticking clock might feel really distant right now, but you know as well as I do that time moves significantly faster than we ever give it credit for. Honestly, what you do in this next chunk of months is going to dictate exactly where you stand when that new year finally rolls around.
Okay, let's dive right into this, because right now, you're standing at a literal crossroads. Most folks out there, they're going to spend the next 6 months completely caught in that familiar spider web of passive consumption. You know the drill, scrolling through feeds, waiting for some lucky break, basically just hoping things magically change without ever actually changing their habits. But look at the alternative on the right, rolling up your sleeves, turning the gears, and actually compounding your efforts. In this explainer, we are unpacking a highly realistic, highly structured roadmap to shift you out of that waiting room and into building.
Now let me be entirely clear right out of the gate. This isn't about overnight riches or, manifesting your way to a Lamborghini. We are leaving all the fluff, the magic potions, and those get-rich-quick schemes right at the door. If you want genuine, life-altering success, actually, scratch that. If you just want real progress, it takes structured, deliberate action, not just wishing for a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
So here is the exact step-by-step agenda we're going to use to make that shift. 1. Master one skill. 2. Build independent income. 3. Document publicly. 4. Upgrade your environment. And 5. Track monthly. Let's get straight to it.
Step 1. Master one single skill. We are going all in instead of trying to juggle absolutely everything.
And here is your exact timeline for this: 60 days. You need to commit to picking exactly one skill. Maybe it's writing, sales, video editing, coding, whatever it is. You've got to put the blinders on. Not 5 skills, not telling yourself, oh, I'll just figure it all out as I go. No, just 2 months of absolute undivided focus. Give it just one dedicated hour a day. I mean, think about it. In 60 hours of deeply focused learning, you can easily bypass 90% of the population's knowledge in that specific domain. What does that actually look like? Well, if it's video editing, it means spending week 1 purely mastering cuts, week 2 entirely on pacing, week 3 on sound design. It's this deliberate, daily practice where you're building real muscle memory.
So, why is just one? Well, because depth beats variety every single time. Most people approach learning like they're digging a dozen shallow holes in their backyard, right? They spread themselves way too thin, learn the absolute bare minimum basics of 5 different things, hit dirt every single time, and then wonder why they aren't striking it rich. They stay permanently stuck in that beginner phase. But the person who digs in one single spot for 60 days, they're the ones who hit the diamond mine. Going all in on one specific focus is absolutely crucial. It's the required antidote to mediocrity.
All right, moving on to step 2. Build independent income streams. This is all about creating proof outside of your day job.
Now, what's really interesting about this next milestone is the actual dollar amount. We aren't talking $10,000 here. It's literally just $300 to $500. See, the goal in this phase isn't about replacing your full-time salary right out of the gate. It's simply about landing one single freelance client, maybe selling a simple digital template, or making a few small commissions using that exact skill you just spent 60 days mastering. It's about taking all that theoretical knowledge in your head and converting it into a practical, tangible return.
The reason this specific, kind of small milestone matters so much is the psychology behind that first independent dollar. Proof of independent income completely changes your trajectory forever. It is that light bulb moment where you realize, wow, I can actually plant my own money tree instead of relying entirely on a corporate factory to hand me a paycheck. Earning even a couple $100 independently literally rewires your brain. It proves you have the capability to generate value from your own mind completely on your own terms. And once you prove that concept with a small amount, scaling it to a few thousand is honestly just a matter of volume and time. That proof of concept is everything.
Which brings us to step 3, document and connect. This is your success multiplier.
When you document what you're building out in the open, whether that's through a weekly newsletter, regular updates on social media, or just a public blog, you're essentially increasing your luck surface area. Yes, it absolutely holds you accountable to keep going because you've declared your intentions to the world. But honestly, more importantly, acting as a megaphone for your journey acts as a massive magnet for handshakes and contracts. You start attracting unexpected opportunities, mentors, and clients who are looking for the exact skill you're demonstrating. Opportunities don't magically find people who are hiding out, trying to be absolutely perfect in secret. Opportunities find people who are visible.
Okay, so picture this. You've got a skill, you've got an income stream, and you're building a growing audience. But what is the one step almost everyone skips? There is this invisible hurdle right before the finish line, and crossing it is what actually separates the people who make it from the people who only almost made it.
And that is step 4. Upgrade your environment. You have to surround yourself with people who are further ahead.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core truth here. Your environment shapes your standards way more than your motivation ever will. Think about the whole fishbowl metaphor for a second. If you stay in murky water where every other fish is completely comfortable being average, wanting more for yourself is incredibly difficult, even when you logically know you should strive for more. Motivation fades, right? But standards? Standards remain. You have to actively leap into a new bowl. And the beautiful thing about today's digital world is that you can do this from literally anywhere. Join specialized online communities, reach out to mentors. Just surround yourself with people whose baseline Tuesday is your ultimate 10-year goal. Elevate your inputs, and I promise you, your output will naturally follow.
Let's move to our final piece, step 5. Track monthly, not daily. We are playing the long game here.
Look, if you stare at the calendar with a magnifying glass every single day, you are going to quit. For sure. Why? Because day to day, the line just stays flat. Almost nothing visibly changes in 24 hours. You don't see muscle growth from one single gym session, and you definitely won't see financial growth from one single day of effort. Daily tracking is just a recipe for frustration and complete burnout. But when you step back, set a simple calendar reminder for the first of the month, and review a full 30-day window, that compounding curve becomes absolutely undeniable. You have to protect your momentum by measuring your progress over a time frame where growth is actually visible.
So, the crucial point is this. The path to the 2027 version of yourself isn't some big mystery. It is a sequence. You master one skill, you monetize it slightly to prove the concept, you document that journey to attract luck, you upgrade your circle to raise your baseline standards, and you zoom out to track the long game. 6 months is a literal blink of an eye when you're just passively scrolling on your phone, but it is an eternity when you're actively building.
Which leaves us with one incredibly vital question to wrap up this explainer. Which step are you starting this week? Seriously, don't let this be just another piece of content you consume passively before clicking away to the next distraction. Force yourself into immediate, accountable action today. Pick your skill, start your clock, and start building your roadmap. Because whether you're ready or not, the countdown to 2027 is already running.